Hey there, and welcome to the channel. Is that really it? So, Blink-182 finally released a new single after talking for so long about the recording process. This is seemingly the process of writing and recording for over a year. Mark Hoppus had said stuff along the lines that this new album will be like Take Off Your Pants and Jacket, the Untitled album, something darker, something new and different from what they've done in the past. Well, you can be assured that it is quite different from the past work. But not everyone thinks that this is a good kind of different. Let's dig into some of the reasons people are pushing back on this new single from Blink-182, Blame It On My Youth. First, people are saying it's not Blink without Tom. People have been making this argument for quite a while now, all the way back to when California came out. And really, if you're going to argue that this is not Blink-182 because one of the founding members is not a part of the band, what about Blink after Dude Ranch with the introduction of Travis Barker after kicking out Scott Raynor? Also, what about some other phenomenal bands that have changed either founding members or lead singers like New Found Glory or Neck Deep, which are bands in the pop-punk arena, but other bands in the alternative rock genre like Emarosa and Dance Gavin Dance? Are these bands not the same as we know and love? While many people miss Tom DeLonge, including me, Blink-182 had decided to move forward with a new lineup including Matt Skiba, and it looks like it might be that way for a while. Just for the fact that Tom DeLonge is not a part of the band anymore, people are not going to like Blame It On My Youth. The second reason people have not been so fond of this Blame It On My Youth single is the lack of guitars. Blink-182 has been known to have some awesome guitar riffs on their songs. While simple in nature, they're usually really catchy and infectious. From some great hits on Toy Patch, like Anthem Part 2 and Rock Show, to Neighborhood's Natives and Snake Charmer, Blink has had these guitar riffs on all their albums. Even though California was guitar-centric, they did lack some of the Tom DeLonge-ish riffs that fans have come to know and love. Further, Neighborhoods, which did incorporate lots of synths, still had some good riffs in the intros of their songs. Blame It On My Youth, on the other hand, has little to no guitar parts, or at least parts where it wouldn't be necessary to have guitar parts rather than a synth, such as in the chorus, or even the bridge. So, because the song lacks some guitars, especially Tom's riffage sensibility, it may not be the fan favorite on the new album. Another reason for the pushback on this new single is too much electronica. In the same vein as the previous point of there being not enough guitars, there appears to be too much electronica aspects in this song, from the opening line to the bridge and some drum effects. Some people have been commenting some things like, "Is this Aoki inspired?" or "Yay, new Chainsmokers music." These musicians have worked with Blink in the past, and Chainsmokers claim to have written a song with Blink for the new album, so there is legitimate reason for people to be making these comments. Pop-punk fans love the guitar, and when their favorite band of 20 plus years changes something like the music so drastically, they're going to be upset. Another reason that people are not liking this new single is some of the lyrical content. Blink-182 has had some great introspective lyrics, but for the most part they have been pretty surface level. Maybe some deeper meanings hidden, but for the most part they are anecdotal, telling a story from a certain point of view. Here, Blink-182 is doing the same as they always have done, but instead of having the teenage mindset, it's the childhood mindset, which is probably a little too young for the current fan base and for the guys who are actually singing the song. Also, the chorus is not all that great, and echoes the same structure of much of the California tracks, repeating the title of the song with some slightly nonsensical lyrics. Mark mentioned in interviews that the songs were going to be darker and different, but the single doesn't match up with all that. Many people are upset that the guy who wrote the same amazing angst-driven lyrics on Where Your Heart Stops Beating, and the lyricist who penned all the macabre imagery and metaphors throughout his run with Alkaline Trio and his solo stuff, could have produced these meaningless words. Overall, people are not happy with the message or the way it is presented to the audience. Some think that Tom could have done a better job with writing the lyrics, citing they prefer his work over something that Mark does. Well, that brings us to the next point. Kind of. Another factor is that Rebel Girl just came out. Tom DeLonge's side project turned full-time project just came out with a new single not too long ago entitled Rebel Girl. Fans reacted positively overall because it was a reversion to an earlier sound and a return after 3 years of no music after Tom had been teasing all these projects he's working on, like movies, books, History Channel, and a lot of other things. At the same time, Rebel Girl has over 334,000 views and only 425 dislikes. Some of the top comments are direct attacks on Blink-182's most recent moves, like collaborating with Lil Wayne, the release of Blame It On My Youth, and other things that are just general attacks on them. People really want to hear Tom DeLonge music, and they are already fed up with what Blink is doing right now. Again, this reason harkens back to the first reason I brought up about people disliking the song. Well, Tom isn't a part of the band anymore. Finally, the last reason is that Little Red Guitars 2 dislikes it. This guy is a popular YouTuber and musician, Little Red Guitars 2, or John Poland. He's an avid Blink-182 fan, and he dislikes the new single they just put out. If you aren't familiar with this guy, let me just run down how much of a fan he is of Blink-182. He has covered almost every Blink-182 song, even multiple times. He has Tom DeLonge's original Dude Ranch Les Paul. He's making a series where he shows the process of customizing a Tom DeLonge Strat, which by the way, is not his first time doing something like this. He Tom DeLonged some California songs, even risking YouTube copyright strikes in the process. If that doesn't convince you, I don't know what will. Anyways, he recently made a video explaining why he's fed up with Blink-182 in general and doesn't expect much more from them at this point. Again, this guy is pretty influential in the realm of Blink-182, so lots of people agree with him. Also, this guy's a huge fan of Tom DeLonge, so it's not a surprise that he dislikes this song, which again is reminiscent of the first argument of Blink not being Blink anymore because Tom DeLonge is not there. Because of this one guy, many people are pulling the plug on Blink-182's new single, Blame It On My Youth. This is not an exhaustive list of why people are abandoning Blink-182 in troves, but I think it is a pretty good summary. And the main point throughout all of these arguments is that Tom DeLonge is no longer a member of the band. Yes, we all miss him, some more than others, but we should also learn to move on. What are your thoughts on Blink-182's Blame It On My Youth? Do you love it? Like it? Meh? Dislike it? Or hate it? Do you resonate with some of the reasons I mentioned for why people are pushing back on this new single? Let me know in the comments and subscribe to hear more pop punk analysis like this.